War has been in the news and it's been on our minds. War is the almost universally accepted response when an enemy threatens, for both nations and for individuals. So we all know something about waging war. The sacrifices, the courage, the danger, the price too often paid. War often comes to us in the guise of liberation and just causes, and as such, war litters the landscape of history. It has many advocates, it has many expert teachers. Sun Tzu's Art of War, Musashi's Book of Five Rings, Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, Napoleon, Stalin, Mao, Hitler, Idi Amin, Mugabe, al-Bashir, Botha. We could go on, and rows of the dead. In our own country we have Washington, Lincoln, Patton, and Powell, the Navy SEALs. With all its promises of peace and freedom, wars have been fought, bravely and nobly, but more war and not peace is always its fruit. Religions too promise paths to peace. They likewise bring their own brand of cruel war to us, from jihad and sharia to inquisitions and crusades, from the Old Testament conquest of Canaan to the 67 War, and from the Hindu and Buddhist caste systems to the ethnic cleansings of our day. To be fair, some religious people have tried non-violent alternatives to war. Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Mother Teresa. One voice uniquely proposed, love your enemies. Now that is a revolutionary idea. But are we really ready to wage love and not war? Climbing the ladder is a way of life played out in every culture. It's what we do by nature. But this teacher showed us another way, an upside-down way to the way we are, when he honored the poor, not the wealthy, the weak, not the strong, the meek, not the belligerent. You see, war is the symptom. The disease is bred in our hearts, where we all want to be the most important, the center of attention, as it were the bride and not the bridesmaid. But he said, "He that will be the greatest among you, let him be your servant." To fight this disease, we must also confront our desire for the comfort of bigger homes and the prestige of nicer cars, the security of better jobs. Look, it isn't that we aren't willing to sacrifice, but we sacrifice the ones we love, the people close to us, for things, and things that will never be enough. In our natural state, we are the center of our private universe. We seek to preserve our life and to enrich ourselves, but he suggested we turn this ladder upside down. His followers remind us of such things such as submit to one another and esteem others better than ourselves, which is quite an un-American ideal. It's not an ideal in any culture. Is this the good life, really? Isn't there some place inside you where you're just tired of the enslaving pressure to achieve? When this is what we live for, we're not only at war with others, but also with ourselves. Because we're never finding rest, we compete for more, bigger, better, newer. No amount is ever enough. What if we extend our grid in the directions that he taught? Then, in this quadrant, we move towards building relationships and giving of our time. But if here we still cling to our wealth and possessions, we'll simply use people to make ourselves look good, always looking for the photo op. And we sense the hollowness in this kind of attention. They're with us, but not really. Carole King well described these people when she sang, "You're so vain, I bet you think this song is about you." We like their attention well enough, but we don't trust these people. Extending the grid in the other direction, we become generous with possessions. But thinking ourselves above others, we will never find the intimacies of accepting others into our life and of carrying another's burdens. Our sense of superiority comes across paternalistic, and it breeds resentment. Now, this person is likely to join churches and causes and attend fundraisers and protests. We like large anonymous organizations or small just-like-me groups with well-defined borders that help keep us a safe distance from them. We donate money freely, but not intimacy, hiding within our carefully constructed divisions. Now, if we combine becoming selfless with our time and unselfish with our money, we begin to move against the stream of society, away from climbing ladders and fighting wars, Here we know and are known by store clerks, neighbors, corner beggars. We may have little, but then only the poor have enough to give. Have you seen friends and acquaintances somewhere on this grid? And where on this grid do you see yourself? Well, here's a familiar mirror. Look, drivers drive stupidly. But to be honest, I've been that stupid driver that I often hate. What if we found generosity and forgiveness? What if we stopped competing for an extra light or another lane change? How many deaths would be prevented if we did? War does not bring peace, does not heal differences, it does not make a better world. It does bring cruelty and death, and it brings collateral damage. And don't think that you're above all this simply because you don't go around as a hater. There are worse things than haters. You see, the opposite of love is not hate, but apathy. Looking the other way, it's safe enough. It's also cowardly and it's destructive. It not only withholds the good that we could do, it dehumanizes the person that we refuse to see. Instead of turning away next time, look in their face. Look in their eyes. If you do, you'll probably be the only one to do that this week. And that matters. The opposite of war is not peace, it's love. The Strategic Air Command, a nuclear bomber. Their slogan is, "Peace is our profession," and I was proud of it, and they're correct. Peace requires the preparation and the willingness to go to war. More than pursuing peace, and more than withholding hate, every day, everywhere, with everyone, I invite you to follow him in his dangerous but promising path of waging love.